friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 36. It's been a while, forgot what episode we're doing. Just want to say hello, my name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan and our two cats Dixie and Daisy. And I love to crochet, I'm learning how to knit, and I'm also learning how to sew. So you can find all that on Instagram and Ravelry. I am LoriLulu327, and there's an email for this podcast. It is LoriLulu327@gmail.com. There's also a Ravelry group for the podcast, and the link is down below. It is Lori Lulu Crochet. All patterns, any special yarns or Etsy shops that I talk about, I'll put a link down below. So you can go support these people as well. So yeah, I just want to welcome any new viewers and returning viewers. Hello again. I'm glad you're here. So there's a lot to talk about. Shall we get started? Okay. Well, last weekend when I was supposed to record, it was so hot, and it's been hot this week. And then yesterday and today it is cold again. Welcome to Chicago, right? So I have on a long sleeve shirt today because it's cold. This is actually my Mother's Day present from my cats. So I ordered a Disney Spirit jersey, and of course I had to have Mary Poppins because she's the greatest. Anyway, so I ordered it for Mother's Day for myself, but it didn't come till June 5th? 6th? Anyway, so I'm wearing it now. Speaking of things that I got in the mail, so I had sent Kalisha from the Quirky Monday Craftcast. She is a great bag sewer. She's a great knitter and crocheter and pattern designer. I'm like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Pattern designer. I had sent her some material. It was actually material that I had gotten when I was living in Africa when I was really little, so it was very old material. And she made bags for me out of them. So let me show you what I got. So here is her information. Quirky Monday Crafts, and a link down below for sure. She's also a podcaster. You want to watch her videos. She sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags. I was like, wait, I sent you this because I wanted at least 2 bags. And you could keep the rest of the material. I didn't want to. I think she used all the material and sent it back to me. Which, Kalisha, I greatly appreciated. And I love these. And I'm excited to use them. But I kind of wish you would kept some for yourself. I hope you did. Maybe a little scraps. I don't know. Anyway. So, the first one I want to show you is her small bag. I should tell you, this material is from a chitingi, which is what African women wrap around themselves. That's what they use to hold their babies up. That's what they use to wrap around their heads. So this material is from my chitingi that I bought when I was really little. So here's a small bag. So it'll be a nice sock bag. There's her medium-sized bag, which you could easily fit 2 skeins in there for a shawl. And then she decided she was going to test some new pattern designs for bags. This one is her makeup bag. So it's pretty small. I mean, it'd be nice to hold makeup in. But on the inside, not only is her label there, but it is plastic. The waterproof plastic stuff. So if there's any spills, it's okay. The material is protected. And then lastly, her newest design, I guess, test that she wanted to try out was a quilted large bag. Like, look how big this is. So I can fit sweater in here easily. But with all her bags, she always puts, you know, on the inside her label. Sorry, there's hairs all over this. She always puts a little tag, a little charm on the zipper. Is it even gonna focus? It says made with love. And then on the project bag, she also put a progress keeper, a different progress keeper on each one. So this one is a cross. The medium-sized bag has a sun, and the small bag has just a little purple charm, purple gemstone. But the fifth bag is what I wanted to show you. It's a notions pouch. So my notions pouch will fit. Will go with every bag that I have. So I kind of wanted to show you what I put in my notions pouches. I have one for just about every project I have going. So every notions pouch has the same thing in it. First is a pair of scissors. And then always has the crochet hook that I'm using. I usually have a tape measure as well. This one is cat, I'm thinking. Yeah, I think this one's a cat. I have a fox and a panda one as well, but those are cute. So tape measure. I have a little tin. This one has a knitting design on it, that's why I bought it. But it holds all my stitch markers, a needle for weaving in ends, and then I usually have one progress keeper. This one in here is Africa. Because, why not? I have African fabric, I should have an Africa progress keeper. And then last but not least, I always have some lip balm, chapstick, something in there. So I always have something like that with me on my project bags. So, that is that. Kalisha, you did a great job. I love them so much. Let's see, what else has been going on before we get into all this other stuff that I have to talk about. We're still kind of in a shelter in place. We're kind of phasing out of it. Although I did see a map that was saying that Illinois had the biggest decreases in cases of this virus. So thanks to our governor and the Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, great name. I mean, their policies have helped us to have such a big decrease. And I know it's a pain to wear masks and all that stuff and to be socially distanced, but it's working. We are like, ugh, it's going down. So I'm thankful for that. What else was I say? Oh, they finally came out with the final numbers from all the people that were infected at my husband's workplace. Of the special needs individuals, there were 17. As far as I know, there were only 2 deaths. But as far as coworkers, like the people that work with him, there were 14 people that came down with it. And so, that's just too many, in my case, in my opinion. But speaking of being socially distant, we still haven't, our governor hasn't issued that we could meet with groups of more than 10 people. So our church was supposed to reopen next Sunday. We were going to meet together for the first time. But again, like, we can't meet in groups of more than 10. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen now. Ryan was talking last night and he was like, I really don't think that we can do that. So we'll see how this week goes. So it may be another week of me staying up till 3 in the morning editing and uploading his sermons onto YouTube. I'll put a link to our church's channel down below. Last night it was after 3 when everything was done, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. And then Ryan called me at 9 this morning and he's like, there's you're missing part of the video, part of my sermon. It's not done in the video. And I was like, what? Get on, check. Thankfully, it was a quick fix, but it was like quick 20 minutes of, oh my goodness, what did I do? But it's done. So anyway, excuse me. Okay, well, I think that's it for what's been going on in my life. Shall we get on with the yarny goodness? Well, it's not just yarny goodness, I should say. I'll show you. But the first finished object, it's been sitting here waiting for me to podcast for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. It is my Senora shawl. It has been living in my Disney cruise bag. The Senora shawl, there you can see it, is by Lacey. She has the Hooked on Owls podcast. And, okay, here's the one that I just finished. But this one, I wanted to show you. So this is the one I did last year. You can see it's gorgeous, purple and pink and gray, of course. So, but I just wanted to show you the difference in size. Of course, you can't see. Let's see if I can get this situated here. There. So I used the correct yarn this time, and I used a bigger hook. So, because I wanted it to be nice and big. Well, let me show you the finished one that I just finished. Oh, look how pretty. I love it. And I love how it kind of curves like this, so it will really wrap around nice. Especially when especially now, like I don't need it now because it's cold. Okay, so the details of this one. It is by Lacey Boudry. I used a 6.5 millimeter hook and an 8 millimeter hook for this row here because you do a lot, I can't really tell you, but there's a lot chains in there, and I usually am tight with my chains. So I did a bigger hook so it would be a little looser. This is Lion Brand Scarfy yarn, and this is cream and silver, and then this one is called Charcoal Magenta, although it doesn't look magenta to me. It just doesn't. It looks purple. But anyway, like I think of this as magenta. I don't know. Anyway. So yes. Senora is done. Woohoo! Then my only other finished objects that I have to show you, I have several. I pulled out my sewing machine. I finally bit the bullet and was like, okay, I'm just going to try to sew masks because I need to be wearing one in the office at all times. My boss hates it, and he can, like, it was a long week because every client that came in, he would be like, oh, you don't have to wear the mask if you don't want to. Yes, you do. That's why we're decreasing in cases. Anyway, so I was at Walmart, and they had a mask making kit. And so I kind of took that and used it as a template, and then had some other fabric, so I can make my own, make them fancy. So this one is the fabric that came with it. So it's like a brown, there's an orange. I have some more I'm still working on. I got frustrated yesterday and just had to stop. But it's like blue and white, and then this gray also came with the kit. But then I added my own purple fabric. This is from my scraps. I used this fabric for the inside of a granny square bag. So there's that one. And then of course, gotta have Wonder Woman. And so then I was like, ooh, let's go shopping for fabric. So I got this. Oh, can you even tell? There you go. It's white sparkly. It's so pretty. I love it. Love it, love it. And then I found a purple sparkly one. And then I went and bought some fabric so I could do project bags because I'm like, my sewing machine is out, might as well. So I bought, you even see her? Oh, she's upside down. Rapunzel! So I have a Rapunzel mask. And then I found this really pretty purple and white one. This one I wore the other day when I went to go get food. So, but these are washable, and they also, the kit came with filters that you can cut down and insert into the pocket. Like, I made a pocket. Like, I'm so excited. So, and this is reusable, so I can wash this with antibacterial soap and it'll be fine. And then these are washable as well. Especially since I put white on the back side and my makeup just smears all over it. But all of these need to be washed first, for sure. And then, it's like, well, I have my machine out, I might as well do some project bags. So, I did Rapunzel, because she's one of my favorites. And of course, I had to have the purple sparkly. Yeah, so I have masks to match my project bags now. Oh, gosh. I didn't do too bad. You know, the box lining, box kind of lines up. Doesn't really line up very well over here. Ah, can I show you? Yeah, that doesn't really line up there. And it just has a white lining. And then a drawstring. Question. Does anybody know what I can do? Right now, these are just taped so they don't unravel. And I tried doing like the burn method with a lighter, or actually I just had the candle lighter. What do I do to keep these from fraying? I tried hot glue, that didn't really work very well. So if anybody knows what I can do, I'd appreciate it. So here's my Rapunzel bag. It's a smaller bag, so it's a good sock bag. And then I was like, well, I want a little bigger, so I made this one with the purple triangles and lovely lavender in the bottom. And then I didn't have enough of that the cord, so I just did a lavender ribbon. I even did a handle on this one. And then, but the inside is that white sparkly fabric. You can tell? Can't see it. Darn it. Anyway, so I've got 2 new project bags. And I still have plenty of fabric left over for other things. We'll see. So, I'm so excited those are done. And that's it for a finished object. So, on to make some progress. I have quite a few things to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are new. So I'll show you the one that you have seen before. It is my Blurred Lines sweater, which is living in this cute shawl bag by Fate's Thread. Blurred lines. You can't, I have a black and white printer, you can't see how gorgeous this sweater is. Anyway, it is by Deanne Ramsey, who is Addie Day Designs. It is a finger and white sweater, so it's going to take me a while to get this done. So the details, I'm using loops and thread wool-like yarn, held double, because it's a light fingering, it's not true fingering. Wait. Anyway. The colors I'm using, they're very clever with their colorway names. Navy, purple, and cool gray. So yeah, here's the loops and thread wool like nice. You can find this at Michael's. So it's cheap. It's on the cheaper end, so that'll be nice. So here is where I am on this sweater. Oh, it's inside out, it is. You don't want to see on my ends. Okay, so I have introduced the second color. and I'm to the part where I split for the sleeves. Anyway, so here we are. Ta-da! So this is where I was last time, this cute little seahorse. So I just ended the whole navy part, and then now I'm to the purple part. Yay! Oh, I keep looking at this and like, this is so big. But I didn't want mine to be as form-fitting as hers. And plus I think my gauge is off anyway. So if it makes it a little bigger, I'm okay with that. So that's where I'm at right now with that one. And we'll see if I get any more done by the next time I podcast. Because I have new ones that are so much more fun to talk about. Alright, what shall we start with first? Let's continue with the crochet and then we'll go into the knitting. Okay, so next one is living in my made by me, my Wonder Woman project bag. And of course, I put Hermione on the bottom here. When in doubt, go to the library. And yes, I have a mask to match. This is a gift for a friend of mine. I've started this project 5 times. I tried one pattern, didn't work. Tried another pattern, wasn't working because the yarn is interesting. I'll show you some problems I've had with the yarn as well. But I'm doing the Cottage Faded Linen Cowl. It's by Catherine Trinity. There. So, the yarn that I'm using is Yarn Bee Katarina, which is from Hobby Lobby. Oh, the fuzz is bothering me now. It's 90% acrylic, 100% nylon, and the color I'm using is Tangotopia. So, when I started, sorry, I'm all tangled. We'll go from the top. It's really nice ombre. It was fading so nicely. It looked so good. And then I got to this. Can you see? Like how it just changed so quickly. And I was like, I do not like that. I don't like how that's looking. It wasn't very subtle. And so then I pulled the whole ball out, or I actually balled up everything. So this is how much I've got. And then this one is what it's working out to be. So, I mean, it's still ombreing very nicely, but it's just, whoop, as I drop everything, it's just so different. I don't know. I like this one so much more than this one, but this is what I'm going to get, because as I was balling it, I would check to make sure that it was going to stay like this and not go back to this, because otherwise I'd piece it all together, figure it out. Anyway, but this is what I'm working on now for my friend Stephanie, which she actually lives in Chicago. She lives in downtown Chicago. And usually when I'm working on a project for somebody, I pray for them as I'm working for it. And I'm glad I did, because I started it the night that the riots were going on in Chicago. And the next day they posted that their building had been hit. But they couldn't break through the glass because it was tempered glass. So that just their front door was smashed. But they were safe. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful I was working on that. I feel like that was God working, you know, saying, you really need to be praying for Stephanie right now. So I am. I believe that one's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm using a 4.25 millimeter hook on that one. And then also my next project, I'm using the same hook. So I've kind of put both projects in this basket here. So they just kind of sit there, and then I have the One Notions pouch with the same hook that I can use for both. So this other one that I am working on just started this week. Yeah. Anyway, it is the November Sky Beanie by Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast, which you need to go watch her latest episode. Yeah. So the November Sky Beanie, it is a paid for pattern. I'm using a 4.25 millimeter hook. Sorry, I haven't put this in a project bag yet. It's still in the Ziploc baggie. But the yarns that I'm using are what she gave me. She actually sent them to me. So there's this lovely blue, which is Plymouth Select yarn. Their DK Merino Superwash, so it's 100% Superwash fine merino wool. And the colorway is Mosaic Blue. So that's really pretty. And then the other yarn that I'm using is Yakagani yarns. Their DK weight, which is 100% Superwash merino, and the colorway is Ravager's Funeral. And let me get through this before Ryan gets in with dinner. Or with lunch. So here's my hat so far. So you have these lovely cables throughout here, which are kind of subtly seen because of the color of the yarn. But here's where I am so far. Ta-da! And I think it'll fit just fine. Just have it straight down the middle. Anyway, so I'm gonna pause, go get something to eat real quick. Bye. Whew. You know when you're so hungry? Oh, food tastes so good when you're that hungry. Anyway, so my November Sky Beanie by Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet is now going to go in my Chitingi bag. Yay! Okay, so that is all the crochet project makes in progress I have. Since the last podcast, I have started 2 new knitting projects. We'll start with the first one. That's right here. So I had some leftover yarn from my Bois Rouge haul, and it's all wool stuff, so I was like, well, some of it has nylon in it, so I was gonna make socks with those. And then this one doesn't have any nylon in it, so I was like, well, I probably shouldn't do socks. So I decided to do the Barley Light Hat. Excuse me. Of course, I had dairy now, so I'm gonna be phlegmy. Anyway, the yarn that I'm using for this, let me find the tag. Hold on, here it is. It is ND Yarn Company. It is their ND fingering weight, which is a 4-ply, 100% superwash merino wool, and the colorway Extrovert. Let me show you this color. Oh my gosh, look at that. Hot pink, and then there's black and blue and yellow and purple in it. It's so gorgeous. Let me show you what I've got done on this hat. So, this one is definitely helping me practice certain techniques. So, like, here, there we go. The knitting part. I'm pretty good at knitting. I'm getting faster at it. But purling, I'm not so good at yet. But I'm getting there. So this hat was definitely helping me with that. So yeah. As far as the pattern, it's a beanie pattern, which you can see here. I am not a fan of beanies on myself, I should say. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a slouch out of this. I might be able to with what I've got left. And then also, how much did we have to cast on for the largest size? Cast on 126. It was so small, like I couldn't even get my needles together so I could knit. It wasn't, and I was like, that won't fit my head, because I got a big old head. So, I don't remember how many I cast on. I didn't write it down. Oh well. So I'm hoping this will fit. I'm pretty sure it should. So that's knitting project, a new one. Number 1, it is living in this cool Japanese knot bag that I got from Katie and the Squid. It has little hedgehogs on it. Isn't that cute? And then I have Yarn Love. And then I have my little Chicago yarn dog on there as well. Because that's so cool. You gotta have that. Okay. Next one I'm really excited about. So, Hannah from the Cozy Cottage, who designed the November Sky Beanie, and Claudia from the Crochet Luna podcast, are doing a year-long make-along where you can sew bags, project bags, or knit socks. And it's called the Wizarding Mal. So it's all like Harry Potter themed kind of stuff. So each month is a different theme, like you're supposed to make a sock within that theme or whatever. So June is called Dobby is a Free Elf. Well, I had bought some yarn from one of my favorites, Bumblebee Acres Farms, and their squishy sock. It is 75% merino, 25% nylon, and the colorway is called Dobby's Christmas Stocking 2019. And look at that. So you have green, red, purple, blue, and white. So I figured, hey, that works perfect for the June prompt. But then I went a step further. Stretching my knitting skills here. Actually, it's not really stretching. It's pretty simple. But doing Dobby's Christmas stocking, I need to do Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern. So you can see there, it's got a nice texture in it. But this pattern is done cuff down. I'm still learning, so I kind of want to do toe up, so I make sure it fits just fine. So I kind of did, I figured out, you know, the pattern to get the texture. It's pretty easy. And so kind of modified it in true Lori fashion. So I'm doing it toe up, 2 at a time. And so here are my socks. Look how much I've got done. So yeah, here you can really see the texture. I'm just so happy with these. It's like I needed to get these done for June, you know? So yeah. So here's the back, where it's just plain knitting because you don't really want to step on textured stuff. So yeah, I'm just loving how these are working up. And so I'm almost done with the gusset increases, so I will be working on the heel. I'm not doing the heel pattern that is in the pattern because I'm not that advanced yet. So hopefully I can get these done soon. Yay! So it's living in my Severe Bradley makeup bag that my mom gave me, but it's perfect because it can hold my 2 cakes for my 2 at a time socks and hold them nicely. But then I decided I should change the buttons because I had like a Disney button on there. But it's Harry Potter, so you gotta have new buttons on there. So I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. And mischief managed. Yeah. Okay, where are my notes? They've disappeared. Oh, here they are. So, for that one, the Hermione's Everyday Socks is by Erica Lauder. I'm using 2.5 millimeter Chow red lace needles. The Barley Light pattern is by Tin Can Knits. I think both of them are free patterns, so easy to find. The Barley Light, I'm using 3.0 millimeter needles. And I believe that's it for that. I think I'm going to run out of time, so we're going to have to do a two-parter. Because there's so much stuff for things that are coming up. And so that'll have to be for later this week. I will post another video. Yeah, exciting things. So, with that, I'm going to sign off for now. So I hope you have a good day. Hope you're enjoying your summer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Because I'm so glad it's summer. Even though it's cold today. It's fine. I will survive. So I hope that you stay safe. I hope that you take care of yourself. So then you can take care of your neighbor. Because it's what we all need to be working on. Making sure our neighbors are safe. And with that, I will leave you. God bless. Bye.